Hey you, I'm the Queen of Shade. Welcome to the interview. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit my Cash App to support your favorite content creator. Now let's get to the interview. Mwah. The Queen of Shade. Let me tell you something. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Salutations, foes. This is your fabulous leader, the Queen of Shade, coming to you with another special presentation. Moving full speed ahead, getting to know amazing people from all over the world has been quite the experience. Having said that, I have someone else that you need to meet and know right now. This young man is an artist. He is, and not just an artist, a dance artist. Not just a dance artist, but a ballet dancer. He is a public figure based in Los Angeles, California. He is a former ballet dancer with Tan's company in Innsbruck, Austria. He's traveled. And as well as also Complexions Ballet here in the States. This young man and I are going to have quite a conversation today. He is a influencer to, what is that, LuluLemon?
Yes, LuluLemon.
LuluLemon. I said lemon.
Fancy yoga tighty, fancy yoga leggings,
right?
fancy handbags. It's really nice.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to formally introduce you to Mr. Addison Ector. But if you've seen him online, you know him as Legs for Life. There we go. I had to say that. I had to say that.
Thank you so much for that introduction.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. You know, I didn't know what to wear today. We were talking about this when we got on today. I didn't know what to wear today. I wanted to be cute, but at the same time, it's 90 degrees in here because I have to turn off the air so that it sets up the sound. So these people don't know I be working.
I just turned the fan down. I was like,
listen, like I said, we were talking about this before. It's like a flower coming out of a shirt.
Yes.
My girlfriend sent it to me and it goes all the way around. And, you know, but I am just so fortunate and thankful for this experience because I have an extreme love for ballet dancers, and not just ballet dancers, male ballet dancers, and not just male ballet dancers, Black male ballet dancers. Yeah. That is like, that's not something that, okay, I'm going to say it, that's not something that happens all the time.
No, not at all.
And with you do something special in ballet. You actually have danced a lot on point, something that is usually reserved for female ballet dancers.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it. So first of all, tell us how you doing today, because I'm up here spilling all your tea.
I'm fantastic. It's a beautiful day here in LA. Moved here specifically for the weather. Originally from here. So it's like, you know, after being gone for 12 years, I have to reacquaint myself.
Yeah.
But no, it's been a beautiful day. This is all I'm doing today. So I've really been able to focus my energy just with the Queen. So,
you know what? This is the only thing I'm doing today. So I'm able to focus my energy with you, Mr. Legs for Life.
Yeah, thank you.
You're so welcome. You know, I usually don't interview on the weekends. I usually, I'm off Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But when I reached out to you and you said yes, I was like, oh my God. So then I sent dates and you're like, well, I can't do. I'm like, listen, I will accommodate you. I will accommodate you. So here I am for you on a Sunday. And you know what? It's a beautiful day here as well. It's a beautiful day. I've been watching my grandmother clean her house.
Okay.
You know, just pull out all these things. She has a lot of like keepsakes and very useful things like big towels and stuff like that. So she's going.
Oh, we love that. Finding the little things, maybe things that trigger the past, and it's like, you still have this.
Yeah, and a lot of it still has the tags on it.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, so I ran down there. I was with her, fed her, because, you know, she'll be 75 in October, but she's still a young, spry, sharp educator because
Yes.
she was a teacher for 40 years. But yeah, it's a great Sunday here. And this is just the highlight and the pinnacle of it because, oh my God, you are so special.
You. Thank you for the exception, and thank you for working with me.
Yeah, like it's not even, listen, I work whenever I have to. I tell people all the time, I am a star that just so happens to do media.
Come on, come on. Thank you.
Star in my own
Thank
right.
you.
Right?
It
Just
just so
so happens.
happens that you're seeing it.
Right. Just so happens to work and do great journalism work.
Yes.
I went to school for it. It just comes naturally. It just comes naturally, as does everything else I do. So
Thank you.
it
Yes.
is what it is. So tell me, you already told me that you're from Los Angeles, the California area, Los Angeles.
Hmm.
So tell me, I'm going to take you back.
Take me.
The first year of ballet. How did you come to ballet? How did you know you would stay in ballet?
Well, the beginning, the origins of it started with learning all types of dance.
Mhm.
Ballet was not the initial love and wanting to do.
Wow.
So from the beginning, I trained at Debbie Allen Dance Academy. So I got, oh, oh, we're gonna be name dropping for the I've been blessed to be able to go to institutions that are very, very well known. So I trained under Debbie Allen, and this was back in early 2000s. So it was definitely a different genre, kind of like with music. It's like early 2000s, that was a whole vibe. The background dancers in the music videos. So I'm like, in my head, the advanced kids were those people. And then that was like the energy that I got. So trained under there, learned everything. That's the great thing about going to like a black owned establishment.
Yeah.
Like Debbie Allen said, you're just not going to learn the main styles of dance. You're going to learn all of them:
Wow.
ballet, modern, flamenco, tap, African, Dunham, musical theater, um, vocal lessons, because she
Wow.
definitely had connections. Um, what else? Aerial, like silk.
Yeah.
Learned all these things. So then, if you wanted to continue into a professional, which for me, it wasn't so much wanting to become a professional. It just so happened that I graduated high school, didn't know what I wanted to do, but I know that dance was my future.
Yeah.
And then I got accepted into Alvin Ailey Summer Intensive. And then
I'm
that
sorry. I told you I live for swan. I call you guys swans. I live
was,
for swans. Like I do. I live for swans. I'll
yes.
explain that. I'll explain that in a second. It has more of a detail to why. But
Okay. Well, we're almost there. We're almost there. So
yeah.
then after that, graduated high school, went to New York for the summer, got enrolled into the scholarship program at Alvin Ailey, stayed there for 3 years. Did not have the, what's the word? I wasn't fortunate enough to get into the company or the second company, but that led me to my path of ballet,
Yeah.
specifically Complexions Contemporary Ballet, which is created by two former Alvin Ailey dancers. So two black gay men run this company.
Wow.
And so that's where my love for like specifically contemporary ballet um, came. And that was, I finally felt that I didn't have to, because that was still with the old heads that were
Yep.
still telling black male dancers or men in general, dance like a man.
Yes.
So that was something that I had to get away from. Even my directors, they told me to do that. But then, things were changing.
Yeah.
And then I started putting on point shoes. And then they
Yeah.
were saying it's affecting the way that you're moving. But at some point, it was like, but this is a part of me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to give up this newfound skill just to fit what a male dancer should be.
Wow.
And then somehow it had the universe, the God, everyone came into line, and next thing you know, everyone accepted it. And,
Wow.
and it's been used on stage. I was able to premiere in that company that I was there for 5 years, on stage, on point,
Oh my God.
strutting, lip singing David Bowie.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm seeing this as you're saying it. So take me through the emotions because we know you practiced.
Mhm.
But that moment, because I'm getting goosebumps. I'm a shaman. I have something to say, but that's okay. We'll save that for a second. My ancestors like, up. I'm like, hold on. Let's build it.
Let's build it.
Yeah, let's build it. So take me through the emotion of that night, knowing that you would be the first male ballet dancer in this space to come out on point, and then take me through audience reaction.
Ah, man. So the premiere was in Detroit, Michigan,
Okay.
at the music hall.
Okay.
And and mind you, my training on point was self-done. That was,
Okay.
my own time. I love the way it looked on women. I love the way that my coworkers looked on it. It does help with the foot line. It's like wearing heels. If you want a higher arch, wear the highest heel you can. If you want a nice curved top of the foot, put some point shoes on. And that's something that men don't do, but
Mhm.
it is now some parts of the world are putting it in the training of boys to just
Yeah.
put on a point shoe just to make your foot look better.
Right.
Um, but I did all that training by myself, and then it got to the point where they asked me to do it for a show, and we're creating it. And it starts with me surrounded by all the dancers. I'm mimicking the girl steps, and then it's Space Oddity.
Okay.
So it's just super alien, super
Yeah.
universe, super galaxy.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, everyone is clapping their hands, and I'm just doing a solo in the middle, just circle movements and things. And then there's a moment where when the verses come in, or the chorus comes in, I'm strutting down just on point. This is Major Tom to ground control. Like, and we're wearing glitter, paint all over, colored hair. We have sprayed our hair different colors. So we're just like, it was beautiful. And then the best part was everyone runs off stage. I'm on stage by myself, and then five guys come running, and then they're lifting me and throwing me.
Oh,
Yeah, I highly recommend watching it. They're dancing all over. They're still doing the ballet. It's everywhere. Complex contemporary ballet.
yeah.
But um, I don't know. I felt like it's funny. I'm also very real. So a piece of me was like, oh, I love doing point until it became a job.
Right. Right.
I was like, it was fun when I did it on my own time, got some cute pictures, like I can do it. And then it's like, oh wait, I gotta rehearse it 3 hours of just this, and then go on stage, just and that's the discipline that
Yes.
women have.
Yeah.
Like no matter what goes on, they put them on, take them off like they're just socks.
Yeah.
But it's like there is so much mental work that goes into that type of work on your body specifically.
Yeah.
And that's your feet, that's your foundation for your body.
Yeah.
So it's like you really have to maintain that. But the feeling really kind of in that moment, I was just so happy and honored to do it. And then the crowd was just in awe. And it was just such a hype crowd. And we love those crowds. We love, the audiences that just will express their feelings in the moment
Yeah.
and not just wait for the blackout and start clapping. It's like you can enjoy, like, if you see something, and then it was recorded, and I have the recording, and you just hear people that are like, oh my gosh, oh and because you may not realize what's going on until I start strutting across the front of the stage. And then it's like, oh my gosh. And it was a magical moment. And I was also fortunate recently to be asked to return to the role
Oh,
in Germany. And we did a 3-week tour in Germany. Um, and I was able to reenact the role, which then led to a lot of other things, which is probably another, we can bring that up later because
we'll
that was
get
the whole
there. I'm like,
experience.
we'll
So
get there. We'll get there. I'm trying not to cry.
you can express yourself.
Yeah.
Don't hold it in.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So this is an exclusive. I wanted to be a dancer. But because of my family and the upbringing, I wasn't able to explore that. I remember when I was in third grade, I was in fourth grade. My sister was in second grade. And I remember we went to an inner city school because my grandmother taught there before she moved us out to the suburbs and college, all of that. But I remember telling my grandmother that I wanted to dance. And she said, this type of dance is for the girls. You play the drums. And though that sounds harsh and mean, it wasn't, because my grandmother, I exhibited femininity very early.
Okay.
And my grandmother at that school, because it was inner city, I was already being bullied. I was already being beaten up. I was being really, really disrespected. She did not want to add another layer to the abuse and the assault. She said, in my best interest, baby, exactly. Let your sister dance this. You play the drums. And I don't want people to be upset with her because the rhythm, it was African dance. And I'll never forget the teacher, she was from Temple University and her name was Momma Benta. And she came, and because I had to play the drums in fourth grade, it gave me rhythm and syncopation, which later helped me in my recording career, So it didn't end there. And what the crazy thing is, my sister today is no longer in the arts. I am, and this is crazy because back then I used to be so jealous because my grandmother spent so much time doing her hair and buying her dresses,
the investments,
really socks, and she was the swan. And I wanted to be that because my grandmother let my hair grow all wild all over my head. And it was like, you're the boy. And she tried to do as much. Now, listen to this. The deep thing about this is all of her children, including my mother, are gay and lesbian. My mother's bisexual. She had 5 children. So she was already used to that. But at that time, we didn't know that I would be moved to the suburbs. I inevitably was moved to the suburbs by her to save my life.
Okay.
They were the abuse became so they were hitting me in my head with rocks. I was going to the hospital getting stitches and things like this, and the doctor said this could cause permanent damage, and you got to get him out of here. So then my grandmother, she continued to teach in the inner city, and she drove an hour from the inner city to where her school was home, to work and home every night, so that I could go to school in the suburbs, and all my siblings did. And, it was still hard. It was rough because she was the only one. My mother never was financially responsible for me. And other people in the family were not financially responsible for me because they were off doing their own things. And my family has a habit of being self-centered, really self-centered. So they didn't want to help my grandmother with the raising of us. One of my aunts stepped in for a while and then disappeared, and it was on my grandmother again. But needless to say, the reason why I went that way is because, life happens. And my sister today, though she's a beautiful person, I'm the swan. I grew up to be the swan. And she met me with a lot of animosity because of it. We don't speak to this day. But that was the price. I paid the price. My whole family, I paid the price. But what I loved, I've been cross-dressing since I was 8. See, I'm not trans. I just loved cross-dressing. I always did. I feel more powerful, more organic, being two-spirited. I feel so true. Like it's the weirdest thing. I feel most masculine like this because it's the idea that everyone else knows I'm a guy. That's where my power is.
Hmm.
But anyway, let's move on. Just share that moment with you. But so you're dancing, you're at Alvin ALA for 3 years.
Hmm.
Did you enter, you entered complexions first, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when did the other ballet company in Austria
Yeah.
enter? The reason why I was looking, because I have another baby who's a swan. His name is Brandon Gray. He was with Complexions and he just ended with them.
Yes,
Yeah, when you dancers all know each other.
we
But
do.
yeah, but there it is. The Tans company in
Uh,
Innsbruck. When
yes.
did that come about?
So I was in my fifth and final season with Complexions,
Mhm.
and I knew that I wanted to get out. I
Okay.
was like, it's after 5 years, you artistically you feel like you have succeeded
Okay.
in where you were.
Okay.
And I was like, I could stay another year, but I know that I could learn so much more elsewhere.
Uh-huh.
I had no idea domestically in America where I wanted to dance,
Uh-huh.
just because the levels, you either have a classical ballet company
Yeah.
that is well financed, real everything,
Yeah.
then you have your smaller companies that are more creative, more abstract, contemporary ballet,
Yeah.
and you kind of then jump to the modern world,
Yeah.
or you jump to black dance.
Yeah.
That's the Alvin Ailey's, the Dallas Blacks, the Philadelphos.
Yeah.
And I needed to find a place that gave me the work that I wanted in a classical ballet company,
Yeah.
but I still could continue my journey within the realm of dancing that I was always already doing.
Yeah.
Uh, Finding that director that is completely open to anything that I present and that,
Yeah.
I'm capable of. So I'm doing my research because I always do research. I recommend everyone do research for jobs and things. And sometimes it's just a Google search.
Yep.
And it's a Google search. You literally type in ballet companies in Europe,
Yep.
and there are many people that have already done the work for you
Yep.
to give you in every single country in Europe
Yep.
are the dance companies, and they are having auditions. So I maybe sent about 10 emails to companies, and only this one in Austria allowed me to do a private audition because they audition in the beginning of the year, January, February, March,
Mhm.
which is smart because they let their dancers know who are not coming back. You have the rest of the season and the summer to find a new job. This is
Wow.
in America, you could end your contract in June and you'll know maybe by May that you're not coming back. So
Wow.
then you have to audition that summer to then move out for your new job in August, September. So
Wow.
Europe has it all together to give their dancers time to find another job.
Right.
Um, but crazy, I needed the private audition because I was on tour with Complexions in Hawaii for a week. So
Oh.
I said I can fly from
To,
Hawaii
to Austria.
to Austria. And they said, like, yes, come, we'll wait for you. And I got that email and I was like, am I really doing this? Like, not financially able at all. But you
Right.
know what? I was like, if this is the opportunity that I need to take, I'll take out a little personal loan. Like,
Yeah.
do what you got to do to get it going. And
Do.
if you don't, if the door is open and
Yep.
you're hesitating to get through it,
Hmm.
sometimes you just oh, I tripped. I guess I fell in. Um, so I flew from Hawaii to LA, LA to London, and then London to Austria.
Right.
And that was immediately after my whole week in Hawaii. And then the next day I went to the audition. I took company class for an hour and a half, grabbed coffee with the director. And the funniest thing was in the midst of him talking to me, and I'm just having a conversation with him. I'm not asking for logistics because I'm very thankful and honored to be there. And I don't know the pay system of Europe. So even if you like me, I'm not going to ask the salary. I'm just going to wait until the conversation after.
Yeah.
He was like, "You're not going to ask about salary?" And I was like, oh, do you want me to? Because we haven't even done the full like audition yet.
Right.
I'm like, he just saw me in class,
Yeah.
but he was like, you don't want to talk money and things, and I was like, you may not like me. Like we could go back into the studio and you may be like, oh, he's trash. Like
Oh God.
so I get back into the studio and he's teaching me a girl's phrase, a guy's phrase. He created a phrase on me and then he gave me a duet with one of his dancers.
Wow.
And when I tell you the funniest thing, I feel so sorry for her. Um, I did work with her, so I did understand her personality. She is very strong as a partner, and she is not a diva. She just knows what she wants. And if you are insecure in any way when it comes to partnering her, then she's going to be vocal about it. And the thing is, so I was in communication. I didn't know her, so I was just like, hey, like, I can lift you here if you like do this, and then I can do this. Just that like it's a partnership. So I put her down. We finished the dancing. It's like 3 hours done, or no, 2.5 hours later. And the ballet mistress comes, sits down next to the director, and he looks at me and he was like, "Okay, you're hired."
Ah!
And I was like, I was like this, and then I was like, "You don't want me to go outside? You don't want to send me an email? You don't want to call me? Like,
Fine. You like, wait, I mean, there's a
I was like,
protocol to this. You're like, wait,
I was like,
like
this is
here.
that you don't want the suspense to build. You don't. He was like, no, you're hired. And he was like, if you want to grab a drink later, if you want to grab dinner later, we can like have dinner. And then that happened. I called my mom, and I was like, so I got a job.
Where? I know she's like, where?
In Austria, like the most like so random. Like nobody's thinking of Austria like ever, unless you're going to Vienna. But I was on the other side in the mountains.
Wow.
They had the Winter Olympics there a long time ago. But yeah, so I did that. And I've had the opportunity within living there for 3 years to travel to neighboring countries,
Yes.
Germany, Italy, Switzerland, and then I just for Easter went to the Czech Republic. So
Look at this. Quantify this for me, this statement. Most people don't understand that art, especially ballet, even I went to Paris as 22, fashion model. They don't understand that the true heart and belly of art is overseas. America has a version, but the true heart of these types of art in Europe, and they don't understand that.
Because Europe has it, it's a part of their culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's an appreciation for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a conversation of your child wants to be a dancer. No, go be a doctor, go be a lawyer. It is, you can do that and go for it. And there's many levels and fields of art that are appreciated over there. And specifically within dance, it can go from a major ballet company to a major or minor contemporary ballet to a very small company of 6 experimenting with lights and putting a box over their head and just walking around the room. But that's still art, like in America's not there because there's too many conversations about what America is. And what old traditions we had. Even when it comes to ballet, you have the major cities with their ballet companies. And after that, there's nothing else other than also the major modern companies and major Black dance companies. But if you are limiting the arts and dance to just those pockets where you can have some security, then you might as well just go to Europe and test it out. See it for yourself.
Yeah, I was 22 when I got the opportunity. Like you said, not financially able. I actually had 50 cents in my pocket. And I packed everything I owned into 3 suitcases and hightailed it to Paris on a one-way ticket.
Come on.
And I love what you said because I was on MySpace at that time. I was actually in my grandmother's classroom. She was teaching and she was kind of keeping an eye on me because I had to medically withdraw from college because I found
Okay.
out I had lived with bipolar 1, PTSD, and acute anxiety disorder. Those were the parting gifts that my mother and father passed to me. So I had to learn to get the hang of them. And it took me many years, but I did. But she was kind of keeping an eye on me. He like my whole family. Oh, put him in a institution or this or that. And she said, "Do you know how brilliant this man is?
Thank you.
How no, we're not gonna do that." And she always said, "You stay with me. You stay by Nana." That's what she used to always say to me. You stay by Nana. Don't listen to none of these people.
Yes.
So yeah, she was like that. So on her computer in her classroom, Google search. And because I had already, with her money, been going to New York City, trying to get all of the go-sees, all of the castings, all of the agencies. And they're like, you have an amazing look, but you're just not what we're looking for.
Every time.
Every time. And what I didn't realize was my effeminacy was getting in my way because the gatekeepers were effeminate. Mm-hmm. And the gatekeepers were only sourcing models that were masculine presenting because that's what they wanted to see. Mm-hmm. So then here came this bitch. And she actually was young and beautiful and vibrant and could had a mean walk and you're just not what we're looking for. You're just not what we're looking for. So I went to Boss Model Management in New York, and the casting director, actually the director of the agency, there was, and I hated that. I hated going to those go-sees because literally all you saw in line were Black models on that day, and they were all turned away. No. The girls, they were gorgeous. Natural hair, take your contacts out, come from that era. Take your contacts out, do what, no, nothing on your face. We need to see you. Mm-hmm. So the director walks by the line, and here I am. I had twists in my hair, and the ends of my twists were not blonde, but they were like an auburn. But my twists, I had just gotten them done. So they were kind of sticking up. And I always loved when they did that because that night I didn't lay them down with my do-rag. I wanted to keep, or my satin scarf. It was a do-rag, but I didn't want to lay them down. I wanted them all over my head. Yeah. I knew where I was going. So, and I was like, listen, honey, I'm going to be other. I'm going to be other.
And you're going to see me. You're going to see me.
It was like, and I already knew that I was like what they call an anti-model. I was already the boy that was androgynous and this and that. And the director walked past the line with his coffee, and I didn't even think he looked at me. I didn't even think he looked at anyone. And he got to the beginning of the line where his desk was, because we were all waiting for him to come back from wherever he was. And there were other bookers and things there moving the line, but he turned around and he said, "You." And everybody's looking, and I'm looking like, right. But listen to this. He said, "You come here, sit here." And most people today think that, oh, well, if they like me and if he's saying something, he should give me an opportunity. They don't understand that information is way more valuable than an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I sat down and he said, "You are absolutely stunning." I almost started to cry because it was validation. Mm. But he said to me, "But you'll never work in New York." Mm. And I looked at him. Now, mind you, all the other Black models were in line. This was a glass building. They could hear. Yeah. He said to me, he said, "You have the look." He said, "But you need to go to Paris." Mm. He said, "You don't belong in the States. You need to go."
Exactly.
He didn't, and then said, "You're dismissed. Have a nice day." Not we'll send you, not we'll partner with a sister agency, we'll spend the money. Nope. So I left New York because I knew what to do. Mm-hmm. That was so important to me. I had been going to agency after agency for like 2 years, and nobody would tell me what to do. I had a guy, he was at Silver Model Management. They did a lot of like the big fit models. Mm-hmm. He died. But he said to me, I remember when I was going with one of my friends, his name was Javon. Javon was beautiful. He still is. He's a fitness guy now, and went to college and did all of that stuff. I think he's married now. But he was the first guy to ever take me to his go-sees.
Okay.
He was like, come with me because you look more like, he was like, if you come with me,
Yeah, that's
we'll get
awesome.
it. Yeah, we'll get in. So turn around, and long story short, I packed
Mm,
everything that I had into 3 suitcases, and I said goodbye. One of my friends from high school, because I went to school in the suburbs,
uh-huh.
they helped me with the ticket.
Nice.
So they got me the ticket. It was like $1,500 one way. And they said, well, do you want round trip? I said, no, I'm not coming back. I didn't tell my family. I didn't tell my grandmother. I told nobody. A bitch had to do what a bitch had to do. I didn't tell anybody. Nobody knew but the people who bought the ticket. Nobody except my brother because he lived with me.
Okay.
So, and I told him, you were sworn to secrecy. You've been unseen shit. So my one of my best girlfriend, and her name was Brandy. She comes and she gets me. Now, mind you, I'm homeless at this time because, this whole you wanna be an out gay, not a gay in the closet or a gay trying to find Jesus. So you got to go.
Yep.
So but I had already made plans. I was leaving. So I just had to be homeless for the summer. I
Uh-huh.
had to figure out where I was going. And I
Yeah.
slept on the couches of some beautiful women. Beautiful Black women took me in. To this day, they're my biggest supporters. They do everything.
Yes.
Yeah, Black women. So in the middle of the night, I left from Philadelphia International Airport and I
Mm,
flew to Heathrow in
mm,
London. And then I changed at the airport in Heathrow and I flew into Charles de Gaulle.
nice.
Mind you, I'm not stupid. I was beautiful, not stupid. So I had met a man. Listen, I met a man online. I
Thank
met a
you.
man online. He was a beautiful French man from Guadeloupe, and his name was Philippe. And Philippe met me at the airport.
I
And
love it.
I'll never forget, I was there and I had gotten my hair done because when you go away for a long time, you don't know how you're gonna do your hair. I had micro braids. Right. I had micro braids. I said, listen, it needs to be long. I said, and I'm going to Paris and they like hair. So only braid a little bit and let the rest of it be out. Like
Yep.
let it be out. To just do it at the roots. And because I had hair, but I was like, no, just do it at the roots and let it be
Yes.
out. That's what they need to see. So I got to the airport and I'll never forget. And I was so strong. I knew what I wanted. And so thin too and strong. I was lifting my bags and putting them all on my
You
back.
were in it. You were in it.
Yeah,
You were in it.
yeah. And it scared me a little, but I said, I got to do this because there was a glass barrier between the patrons getting off the plane and the rest of the airport. You had to come outside of this
Yeah.
barrier. And on the other side of the barrier were these men with these huge guns.
Customs. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I mean, they were in full like suit, like SWAT suits. Like it was crazy. So it scared me, but I said, listen, I can't let that bother me. I saw Philippe on the other side of the glass. Now, this was 2005.
Wow.
So I turned around and he said to me, he smiled at me. I came out and he said, those people are talking about you. I didn't learn French. I tried. I didn't learn it. But I still know things. Like I pick it up. But
Yeah.
I can understand it more than I can speak it.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, they're talking about you. And I said, really? What are they saying? He said, they're saying that you're gorgeous, but they're trying to figure out if you're a boy or a girl.
Mm.
So I smiled at them and I'll never forget riding into Paris. I was there for 6 months before my mental illness and running from my family and all of those triggers and everything started to, and the stress of modeling, the stress, because they didn't just accept me with open arms because I was American. No, 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 no. I had to work very hard. But like you said, it was a Google search. I found this website that listed every modeling agency that was reputable around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Their addresses, the times that they saw models. So I was a researcher. That's what I did. So I had my printouts and everything, and I'm going here and I'm highlighting, and I never rested. And Philippe said to me,
no, yeah.
Philippe said to me, he said, you're working too hard. That's what made me sick. He said, you're working too hard. He said, you need to relax. I said, but no, I only have a limited amount of time before I have to leave this country. I'm trying to get in. I have to live with an agency so I can get a working visa. Like it was a lot of stuff people don't understand. I know now, but you got to pay me for that. I mentor now. So I'm like, you want to do that? You got to pay me for that. But I ended up meeting one of the top photographers. He was number 2. And the only reason he was number 2 in Paris was because he was Black. The first number
Come on.
one was white. He was number two, but he was amazing. His name was Ernest Collins. He was from Chicago, but he had lived in Paris for years.
Nice.
He had established a network there. He shot me for free because I sat down and had a conversation with him after I was crying because I came out of an agency. I went to an agency twice and they cut me down to nothing. And I didn't let them see me cry, but I cried when I got in the elevator. I was like, I can't.
Or you wait until you get outside the building.
Yes, you listen. That's what we artists have to do.
I told my best friend, she was crying at the Ailey Institution, or we were outside the building. I said, "Come on, girl, we got to walk 5 blocks south." I was like, then we can talk all the shit we want, but right now we are not gonna let them see you like this.
Not at all. So he shot me, and because of that, I got signed to 3 agencies in one day. But it wasn't a glamour story because I was still Black, and I still had to chase them for work.
Of course.
So my friend says to me, "Go to Fashion Week. Fashion Week is rolling around. Go to Fashion Week." So I show up at Fashion Week wearing a cat suit. Hair pulled back.
You will see me.
Yep, you will see me long, cat walking, just walking everywhere, leg, everything, just walking.
Minding my business.
Yes, yes. And I had one of the editor-in-chiefs of a magazine. It was like Vogue Japan or something at that time. And she said to me, she said, "You should have come earlier." And I said, "Ma'am," she said, "you would have done all the women's shows and you would be a star right now." And that gave me so much confidence because I ended up seeing so many shows and getting into so many shows to meet people because I loved them.
Exactly.
But I said all of that to say this. So you stay in Austria. This is a country where it is historically. How many of you were there? How many of us were there?
Black Americans.
Okay.
In the theater, 2.
Wow.
There's another man from New York City that was there. Black African in the okay, all of Europe has, African immigrants and things like that around. So there are communities like Somalian, Ethiopian that they have their community there. But the crazy thing is in Austria, when I noticed that people can look at me and they just be like, "Oh yeah, he's American."
Yep.
Like, oh, just the way that he's dressed, the way he's like, and it was such a small town, and I was fortunate to be on 2 posters that were all around the city.
Right.
And so, I was always asked to do the interviews. I was always like, because I was also the social media one.
Yeah.
So it was like, my boss was very clear. He was like, "Oh, I have a Black man with legs and feet."
That's true though.
Use it. I'm gonna use it. So then he had me do the photo shoot. I get the job, arrive, we're doing A Midsummer Night's Dream. I'm playing the lead role, Puck, and he gets me in the photo shoot for 9 a.m.
Wow.
They doing my makeup. They're not doing my hair because my natural hair is a faux hawk.
Yeah.
So I'll do it myself. And he said, "Okay, I need you to do a leg." So I do that leg maybe 7, 8 times with different arms.
Wow.
And that whole photo shoot took less than 30 minutes.
Wow.
Because the position, I know what my body can do. Oh, that's a different one. That's the best photo I've probably taken in my life. That's probably the best photo I've ever taken.
No, I got one for you. I got to run her up.
Oh yes. Honey, oh yeah. That's me.
Let me tell you something. You're the real deal.
Thank you.
So continue. How many? That was it. Were any of the Blacks, like any other Somalians or Ethiopians, did they dance?
They do not dance.
Okay.
But
they were present.
I was fortunate because I did a year there. Mm-hmm. My body was acting up. I said, I'm going to take a year off. Okay. So I moved to Dallas. And then COVID hit. And then I got back to Dallas. And then I was like, you know what? I'm almost 30. I'm ready to kind of transition out of full-time dancing. So I want to go back to Austria and see how long I can do and like finish it out.
Yeah.
So I got the opportunity to go back.
Yeah.
My director calls me and he's like, so listen, I'm like, what's up? He's like, I'm looking for a girl. And this is not something that directors or bosses do that go
Right.
to their dancers unless they really trust them and respect them and all of the things. And so then I'm like, well, it just so happened that a girl that I know, a black girl,
Yeah.
was there with her husband, who's also black.
Right.
We're in the Innsbruck when COVID hit,
Wow.
then they canceled their audition.
Wow.
And that's when the world shut down.
Wow.
They were doing a European audition tour,
Wow.
auditioning to all these companies, and then they got to Austria, and then COVID hit.
Wow.
So then he ended up hiring her,
Wow.
and he's never met her, never saw her dancing, only footage, and just off a recommendation.
Recommendation.
And then another guy quit last minute, and then my director's mother told him to hire the husband.
Wow.
Um, and then at that point, we had four black people in the company at once, and
Wow.
that made history. Like, there's not saying that they don't hire. It's a very diverse company.
Right.
Italian, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese,
But get this, diverse. I know you have to be PC, but not a lot of black.
but not a lot of black. And you
Not a
know
lot of
what?
black.
That goes for the dance world and the ballet world in Europe.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want to be tokenized, but you are.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that it is not a privilege that I appreciate. I took it, I ran with it.
Yeah.
Um, and there is, in other words, an elitist, not elitist, but like when you make it and
Yeah.
you make it in that form where
Yeah.
you're the only one.
Yeah.
And when I was looking, I was watching all the auditions
Yeah.
of the company, and there's not that many of us that are there.
Yeah.
And sometimes there are none that are there.
Now clarify this for me. There are none there because they're not as progressive. So let's leave that alone. Would you say that there are not many there because would you say that our Black dancers here in America do not train to that level? Or would you say that no, they train to that level, they're just not given opportunity? Because see, I want that to be distinctive.
So first, for Austria, aside from Austria as a country,
Yeah.
the company itself,
Yeah.
I did not know about this company until I found it on Google.
Right.
And they were doing amazing work. They sometimes do the same work of other companies and do it better.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I showed up, had my social media, that America started to notice that there was this little company in Austria.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to Black dancers, it's not so much just access. It's mainly exactly what you and I did of just saying, I'm gonna go and audition.
See,
It's not so much about
being just denied.
being denied. And of course I had the fortunate of sending a professional email, sending photos, sending videos, formatting it, being very clear and real with the situation, that then it's up to them to decide.
Yeah.
Because writing a good email could take you a long way.
I know.
Looking
Yeah.
professional, not just writing things, sending crazy pictures and things. It's
Right.
like, you are formatting it correctly and it is
Oh.
eye-catching, it will make that person put it to the boss's face and be like, look at this.
Oh. Yep.
So, but when it comes to the Black dancers, it's really just that it's really you telling yourself, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
No matter what the cost is, I'm
Yeah.
going to buy the ticket from New York to Europe, and I'm going to stay there for 2 days. You're
Yeah.
gonna make it work
Yeah.
and hope that the opportunity lands itself.
Do you know this is my problem? That's why I asked you to explain it.
Mhm.
I met a lot of models in New York City that were Black, way better looking. genetically. I always have, I come up with all these looks. It's because of my ability to do model. I can wear red hair. I can wear blue hair. I can wear green hair. I have the symmetrical, face, and I got the long and I got the this, but I'll be 40 in September.
Wow.
Yes. Okay. So I'm doing this and she's very much living in her glow right now. But
Yeah.
this is my problem. My problem stands that those models, after being there, after actually touching the soil and realizing that I would return with my whole career. That's why I haven't signed anything here. I'm taking my whole career back there. I realized that I could not get the Black models to leave the country. They felt like America was the pinnacle of everything. And I'm like, oh, you got to make it here. If you make it in New York City, you can make it anywhere. No, baby, go to Europe. They were too afraid. They
I'm like that quote of you make it in New York, you make it anywhere, that stays domestic.
Yes.
That's the thing is, so that was a conversation that I've had with many people. And it's basically that borderline thing of like knowing close people, friends and family that haven't left the state.
Yeah.
Don't have a passport.
Yeah.
Like that level of culture that you haven't experienced. It's like you live in New York, yes, it's the metropolitan of the world. People travel in and out, but actually go see where they're from.
Exactly.
Like get your own point of view of it. Exactly. Because and also the other example that I say is I could be a great, fantastic dancer out of high school, going to college or anything, and then you move to New York. That's the real competition.
Yeah.
And then that competition, okay, you made it in New York.
Yeah.
Can you make it in a different country?
Exactly.
Can you make
No, keep going. I'm just thinking.
Oh no, but it's basically like the level doesn't stop there. The level continues to if you can impact another area where it's not your people or there is no safety net for you there.
Go and be the only one. Go and be the only one. See, I owe that to my grandmother. Because in my high school, I'm from Philadelphia. Grew up, started in projects, but my grandmother moved me to Willow Grove.
Okay.
Willow Grove, Pennsylvania is about 45 to 50 minutes outside of the city, depending on where you live in the city. Where I am right now, we're about 25 minutes from there, and we still shop and do everything there because it's just peaceful. It's peaceable. It's peaceful. I'm sorry. Not every Black person is gangbanging. Not every Black person wants to be accosted. There are places, and I learned that. But the thing was, even with that upbringing, I had never been out of the country. I had never had a passport. I had never seen anything. Thank God my friends were Caucasian and African American and mixtures. Like it was a big thing for Black people in my school to own their own houses because most of us lived in the apartment communities. So it was a big thing when my friends, and I was friends with every single Black person in the school, whether they were younger than me or older than me, that owned their own house. It was just a thing to me. I wanted to be around their mothers. I wanted to be around their fathers. I wanted to eat at their tables. And I learned so much that education and that experience of that is why I am who I am today. But the point of the matter is, even with not going. Now, yes, my mind had been opened. And I don't want to say that, Black people in the inner city do not open themselves up because they do. But it was different. It was different because I didn't have that fear. I was like, anything I want to do, I'm going to do. And that was what I got from being where I was, because that was the mentality of the people I was around. And I became one of those people. You see how I'm dancing around this? Okay. So, I don't want to offend. But the thing is, when I applied, Paris didn't give me a yes. Prague did.
Yeah. Come on, Prague.
Prague said, you are beautiful. Come to Prague and NAPSL, and we'll fund your modeling career.
Czech Republic.
Okay.
Will be found.
Okay. Split was the third place to say yes in Croatia. Like, okay. Like it was amazing. But I was holding on to what the director said about Paris. So I knew this. They say, oh, New York is the fashion capital. Lies. Paris is the fashion capital of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where you can take and wear something. And that was the thing. See, me, now that I'm 40 and I have this great career and I have all of this wisdom underneath me, I have a lot of loves for things. It's not just the model anymore. It's like, even then, it was the garment, it was how it was made, it was the embroidery, it was, I
Mm-hmm.
loved everything about the fashion community. And then on top of that, they accepted misfits like me.
Come on.
I didn't have to transgender to wear a dress. I have a famous friend in Paris. He started as a TV presenter and now he's an actor. And he just won awards from the Queen of England for his fashion work. And he's traveling around Europe right now in this big play. And his name is Vincent Mcdoom. And he's so famous in France. And literally, I think he's from Guadeloupe, and or a small island. What I forget, maybe not Guadeloupe, but another one. But he went there and he has done it. And what I loved about meeting him was my work is the Queen of Shade. I met him. I met him here via
Right.
the internet. And
Right.
he said to me, "Have you ever been to Paris? You need to come." And I'm like, "Yes, I've been to Paris, and everything I'm doing right now is to return." He said, "Well, sweetie, I just need to tell you something. When you come here, we're gonna pay you not to leave.
Thank you.
I'll offer you that much money. You won't need
Thank
to
you.
leave." I said, "Well, okay, I have some other things that I'm building. Let me build them, and then I will hop on a plane. And this time I'm not going empty-handed with 50 cents in my pocket."
You learn from the past.
Yes, it took me 18 years.
Wow.
It took me 18 years, but they were good years. I learned about my mental illness. I took the medicine. I had the therapy. I did everything I needed to do to have the career that I have now. But my point of saying that was I met so many beautiful models that had they just gone overseas, they'd have never needed to come back. There's one that comes to my mind. I'm friends with her niece. And we all know this name. Her name is Deborah Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
She was known as the praying mantis.
Mm-hmm.
And she went to Paris and she never came back.
Mm-hmm.
She's still modeling today. She's in photography. She does all kinds of things. But I met, like, I literally, even in the midst of it, like, it triggered me. Like, I literally was in New York City and I'm like, I met this Black man and this man was gorgeous and he was signed to like Ford, but they weren't giving him any work. And I'm like, "You're signed for what?
Exactly.
Why?" I'm like, and I said to him, "You need to go to Germany." And I started crying because I was emotionally unstable at that time. And he's like, and he said to me, "Who are you?"
Uh-huh.
And I said, "One day you will find out.
Thank you.
One day. You may not know today, but one day you will find out." I don't know where that model is, but I know that if more Americans, specifically talented Black Americans who have given themselves to their craft and risen to be the best of the best here, if they, honey.
Specifically, because that dedication, because I've dedicated myself to my art.
Yes.
Tremendously. No distractions, no men,
No
no
distractions.
I want to be successful in this path.
Yes.
And I want to make a name for myself in whatever I describe as success as.
Yes.
Once I have reached it, then I can then transition into the next thing and let the opportunities flow. And to your point of move, like, I think I know a lot of Black Americans that dance in Europe.
Okay.
And they do have the mentality of not leaving. And I think it comes with all the visas and things. Like, I would love to live in Europe, but having to then apply for visas and work permits and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Like, I would then rather live in like London.
Yeah.
Where the language is like, I learned a little bit of German. I learned a little bit of Italian. I learned a little bit of things, and each country has their own level that you have to learn of that language.
Yeah.
But it's like, just to be like, I know that I don't need to return to America.
Yes.
But when I do it, even when I arrived last week, I felt the energy of everyone's been waiting.
Yes.
They said, you go live your life in Austria, do your thing.
Yes.
Just know that we're watching.
We're watching.
And when you do have the accessibility and the availability.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm here now in LA. Just let me get my foundation, because I'm an Aquarius. So
Yeah.
I need to get my P's and Q's together first
Gifted.
before I just
Gifted. Aquarius.
lift it. But just before I'm like, waiting here, looking at my phone, hoping that someone calls me.
Right.
Yes. No.
Yeah. You know, I get so passionate about that because I just now realized that I can work from anywhere in the world.
That's amazing.
I've built it and I gave it that much. Like I don't, I'm turning 40 in September the 29th. I'm a Libra. So balance is important to me. In June, Pride Month, the last day of Pride Month, I just got my first boyfriend ever.
Ever.
That's how dedicated I was to my craft. Oh, no, I'm proud. No, trust me, I had plenty of sexual situations.
Oh, thank you. There's nothing wrong with that.
I had plenty, but I just got my official first boyfriend and I knew him 20 years. And when he asked me why why didn't it happen? Or this didn't happen? Or I said, I needed to add value to my life. And he said, but you've always had value. I said, no. I've had value. I know that. I need value out there.
Thank you.
And I dedicated my life to adding value to who I am. So now with that segued, I'm going to segue right there. So you're in LA and you talked about being in Europe and it opening doors for you here on your home soil. You've spoken about opportunities. You've hinted at them. What's next for you, Mr. Legs of Life? What are you currently working on?
So I am currently working at LuluLemon.
Okay.
In Beverly Hills. And when I lived in Dallas for 1 year, I worked at a LuluLemon there. Okay. And they're fantastic. If you do yoga, if you work out, men's and women's products, the quality is amazing. It's one of those things where you put you put the investment in one time.
Yeah.
And that's gonna last you it's not Nike, where you gotta rebuy things.
Right.
LuluLemon is the way to go if you're an athletic wearer.
Right.
But now I'm in a different position. I'm not selling their clothes. I'm selling this at-home mirror. If you want to work out at home, I have this. I'm selling it, and I'm in training this week.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that just to get myself a foundation. Okay. I'm staying with my father.
Yes.
My mother was in town. I was looking for an apartment, and she was like, "You need to get a car." And I was like, "Okay, I need to rewire my brain."
Yeah.
Financially, all that stuff. She was so fortunate. She got me a car.
Yep.
2 days ago.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. And that was so unexpected. It was really just, I was at work.
Yeah.
And then she's over here calling me, texting me, and I just see I can buy this now. And it's just like, beggars won't be choosers.
Right. Help.
Thank you so much. I've only been here a week.
Oh, wow.
I
got you fresh back. I got you fresh off the boat.
Fresh off the boat.
Fresh off the boat.
So that's kind of just the foundation. I am slowly but surely going to be looking for representation.
Yeah.
Whether it be modeling, I think I'm going to more so go for a talent agent that has a print sector.
Yeah.
So that I can go more for the fitness realm.
Oh, you can do it all though.
I know.
Honestly, because of your size and your stature, and see, we were taught this a long time ago. Dancers, professionally trained dancers, make the best fashion models because you guys are so in tune with your bodies. You know how to move them. You know how to turn. For us that we came to it kind of without a formal education. I was one of those. I move the way I feel. And that it works for me, but not everybody's like that. But we learned that dancers make the best models. How tall are you?
I'm 5'10", but I hold myself like I'm 6 foot.
You'll listen. I'm 5'11", so we good. We good. They'll take you. And what I love is representation will happen quickly for you because of your background. Oh, you've been to Europe. Because see, when you say that, then it's then you can take jobs over in Europe. You can do Fashion Week. You've traveled. You know what it's like to be abroad.
Yeah.
By you making a choice in your life to do what you wanted to do, it's it's going to serve you in so many things because they're like, oh, well, he's been abroad. He knows what it's like. He can do Tokyo, he can do Paris, he can do like, like he can do all of those things. When I was in Paris for Fashion Week, that was a long time ago. Oslo, Norway. They asked me to come.
Norway.
Yeah. Like, and this is the thing. Nobody's afraid. Like, you couldn't be afraid. I was like, when? I got invited to the Carnival of Venice. Yeah. Like they were like, you have that's in February. I was like, I don't know about being in February because I need a visa. But I was, I had to leave in January, but it was okay.
Yeah.
But like I understand your grounding, but I need you to expect big things because you put in the work. Put in the work. You are not just a dancer who just, danced at home and, did Alvin Ailey and Debbie Allen and all of these prestigious things and then stopped. You took that career abroad. Do you know that's going to open so many doors for you? So many doors. Okay, here we go. I see so many doors opening for you and as far as your career. I don't see you being done. I heard you say, oh, I'm 30, almost 30. I don't see your dance career being done completely. There's more. And I know it takes a lot to get back into that space, that headspace. I know you've been dancing for a long time, but I see opportunities coming to you that they're not going to be extensive. They're not going to be a drudgery on you. They're not going to be severely labor intensive and mentally intensive. They will be things that you can walk into because of who you are.
Yeah.
And what you've done. Okay. So I'm gonna leave you alone with that.
Thank you. I hear you.
I'm gonna leave you alone with that. You're an Aquarius. You know how that goes. You do the same.
I hear it. I take it, and that is something that I know, and I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
It's just there is the piece of humility.
Yeah.
I like to hold on to. It's like, yes, there is legs for life.
Yeah.
But he's not here right now. Like I put legs for life just for 2 seconds. I just want to see what it's like.
It's like you do it and you're like, oh, I still got it.
I still got it. Like I did do that.
You did. And I'm curious because you're just back. See, these questions don't make sense. The ones I wanted to ask because you're just back. You're just getting your footing. I gotta get you 3 years from now. The questions make no sense. Like we're gonna
recap. We're gonna have a recap.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a recap because the questions make no sense. You just landed. You're there. You're getting established, which every person need do. Every person has to do. So it's not really the questions make no sense. So tell me this segue. I'm one of the only journalists that says segue.
I love segue.
I love it. Listen, I do it. So segue. I want to segue completely. Are you an only child? Do you have others in your family, siblings?
I have an older sister and I have an older half brother.
Okay. Now, are they in the arts? Not necessarily dancing, but what? Like, I want to find out if your home was artistic or was it just you?
Not so much. My sister was in sports.
Okay.
She played basketball, and then she is now in law enforcement.
Okay.
And then my brother was IT.
Okay. Okay. So
I was the only one really.
You were the swan. You were the swan.
I was the baby. They just let me do me.
But you know what? Thank God they did.
Exactly.
Got Legs for Life and Addison Ector. We got both.
Yes, they said, oh, he's the one. They say and sometimes I'm really bad with communication, but it's like, you will know where I am and what I'm doing.
But you know what Aquarius are like that. I have a friend of mine who did my documentary back in 2018. He's an Aquarius. His name is Chris Lyles. And he just dropped off the face of the planet. And I think of him every single day. And I try not to cry because I love that man. I love that man. That man is one of the most intelligent, most talented men I have ever encountered. And he's beautiful. And the thing was, he was having such a hard time in America with modeling, but this man was the epitome of a model. Height, he was like 6'3" and gorgeous skin and then creative as ever. He did when I last spoke to him, he had just did a house album. He had done, and then he was doing documentaries. He had several degrees. He was degree down. This man was the epitome of what we should all aspire to do. It wasn't just one lane. He was in all lanes. And then some things happened and he felt that he needed a break and he just up and vanished. And my thing is, the last thing I knew of him was he was interested in looking at a PhD program.
Okay.
So that's what I believe that he's doing, but I haven't heard from him. But the day I hear from him, I'm going to cry because I'm like, don't ever do this to me again. Because I love that man. He's from my city. Like we bonded, and I just really care about him. But he had to do what he had to do. But I said all of that to say he's an Aquarius, and you guys don't know how to call people.
But you know what? It's crazy that you said that because I'm also looking to get a master's in dance.
Oh, okay. Look at that.
So COVID kind of gave me an opportunity to inquire with, there's Hollins University in Virginia and there's University of the Arts in Philly.
Okay.
And so they have they have a master's program for dance and they can accept you based off your resume.
Well, you in.
COVID. During COVID, I actually got accepted into the master's program. And then I moved back to Europe. So I was like, the timing wasn't right. And I do have a love for teaching.
Yeah.
And I love teaching like university kids.
Yeah.
So being a professor is something that is there.
You know what? You should. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I saw it. I just didn't want to say it because you were just back. You were back. I didn't want to overload you with too much.
It's okay.
The opportunity was more professorship, but I saw you. But get this, it's weird how my gifts work. I'm watching you watch the pupils as you walk, and you are literally, and that's part of Aquarius, fine tuning. Fix that foot, fix that leg, get that line. It's like that. You're not going to be a joke.
I'm the one. I told I had one group of students for one summer intensive. I told them all, it was like a group of 30. And I said, you know that feeling of when you're that one person not getting it?
Yeah.
I was like, we don't want to be that one person, right? It was it was harsh, but it was like, you know that feeling that if there's the one person that's slacking and they can feel that they're slacking. Yeah. No, we're all in this together. Like we're all going to get together and we're all going to be the fiercest ones on the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little hard, but it's
listen, but you know what?
Somebody has to be.
But you know what? So am I. When I take my mentees on, I'm hard because I didn't get here by literally just acceptance. Mm-hmm. I fought for this. And my things, like even with my music career, because I do music. So even with my music career, walking away from mainstream music to do independent music. Mm-hmm. They told me I was crazy, insane, that I'd never make it. I'd never do anything. And I remember literally hiring my own producer and engineer. I kept my vocal coach that had been sent to me by the record label, kept her because she was fantastic. She helped me craft my sound. Nice. And literally, I hit the ground running. I've never had to look back. My music does well in Europe. Mm-hmm. In Europe.
Yes.
And it's so crazy because I used to feel like, I wasted so much time. I had to get my head together. And, I'm 40 now. And my grandmother looks at me and says, baby, and you are just beginning.
Thank you.
We're just beginning. Go back and do. And she said, and this time you'll actually make money. Because it's all yours. You ain't got, listen. They got to cut you the check. Okay.
It's incredible to have all the experiences and to put in the work and to have gone in it raw, we both figured it out.
Yeah.
You get to the States, put your eggs in line, and then you get to go back.
Yeah. And it's and the crazy thing is, even with my vocal coach, my sound handcrafted by us is my raw sound. Yes. She can touch my voice. I was sent to her for confidence because back when I met her, I had very low self-esteem, homeless, and all of the things going on. And so we crafted my sound, and I was like, that's me. That's what I sound like. And it took me a lot of time to come get into the grips and the use to the sound because I used to be bullied for the sound, beaten for the sound. But it's so crazy because now I'm all over the internet. My classmates and people, they write me, they're like, honey, You only have to say a sentence and we know exactly who it is.
Exactly.
So it's one of those recognizable voices. So
Uh-huh.
that's power. And
Yeah.
I remember I had this one young girl, she was a rapper. I met her years ago and she said, your voice is going to make you millions, if not
Wow.
billions.
Wow.
And I didn't believe her. I didn't believe her. But
Mm.
I can say I'm well on my way. I'm well on my way. But
And,
honey, I'm looking to leave this. I'm what?
and you know what's crazy? Another opportunity did just pop in my head because I was just on a cruise. I was on
Oh,
Virgin Voyages.
okay.
I highly recommend everyone go on a Virgin Voyage cruise. Adult only, free to be who you are.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Oh,
And I ran into dancers because me and my best friend were great. We meet the dancers because we love that energy is just everything.
yes.
And then one of them, he used to come to my company's like intensives. So
Wow.
he was like, I'm so happy to see you guys. Like I looked up to y'all. And then next thing you know, the entertainment operator, the operations, the boss is on the cruise on vacation.
Oh, wow.
And he's over here looking at me, my best friend, dance around, having fun with everyone. So
Wow.
next thing you know, we build this connection with them.
Yes.
And I've always wanted to dance on a cruise.
Oh,
And because if I become a professor, I want to be telling my students that I did everything.
Oh my God. You get
I,
ready. Oh my God. You saw that reaction? That's the point. Because get
I
this.
want to. I danced in America. I danced in Europe.
Yes.
I danced on a
Oh my.
cruise. I did a Broadway show. I want to be able to say I did
See, this is
everything.
why I can't, but you know what? This is why I can't interview Aquarius. We got too much. Like we got too much in common. Like that's why I'm doing this because at the end of my quote unquote career, at the end when I sit down, I'm going to sit down into a professorship.
Thank
And
you.
I want people taking my lecture because of who I am. This
Mhm.
bitch been everywhere. Did you see what she did in Germany? Did you see what she
Yes.
did in London? Did you see what she did in Paris? She went to Prague. She went to Napsal. I feel that because I was one of those people when I was in college and before I had to medically withdraw, my advisor told me, he said, college is not really for you.
Mm.
And I was like, what do you mean? I worked my whole life to get here. He said,
Mhm.
but it's not really for you. He said, in college, we memorize information to move it from one textbook to the test, to the exam, to get
Mhm.
an A on the exam. He said, everything that you learn and the way that you learn to know it forever. You learn it and you know it so you can teach it. And he
Mhm.
was like, college is going to be hard for you that way because we need you to move from information like this. And
Yeah.
you're absorbing it to know it forever. And I still, it's been 22 years and I still
Mhm.
learned it. I learned how to weightlift in college. I learned all of that. And
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Like, and I remember because I am that way. Like a professorship would be amazing for me. But after I go and take
The
your
world by storm.
Yes, yes, I've been working and now I'm ready. And it's so crazy. I take this laptop anywhere I go. And, for a long time, I didn't leave my house because what people don't understand is once you start to gain notoriety and people identify you as being an artist and
Mhm.
a good one, it's not so safe anymore. It's not so safe. You have to move in certain circles and you have to go with certain things and protection and this and that. And I purposely just stayed in a bubble for so many years because I couldn't afford the protection detail and things like that. And I can't be fighting people because they
Thank
jealous of who I am. Like I had that happen in Philadelphia one time. I was just gaining notoriety back in like 2008, 2009 on YouTube at that time.
you.
And I'm a singer. I'm a mezzo soprano.
Mhm.
That's a natural God-given thing. Like my grandmother used to say when I would cry when the boys would beat me up, you can't change your voice. You
Exactly.
can't change it. So they're beating you up, but you can't change it, and I'm gonna get you out of here.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, a group of black gay men saw me walking, and I didn't say hello to them. A man across the street, Caucasian, called me a more muse because he recognized me from the internet. And
Mhm.
he said, a more muse. And I waved and I kept walking. I smiled. And as I was walking by smiling, they saw me and they were like, oh, this bitch. Da, 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 da. I
Mhm.
just kept walking. They went and jumped in their cars and drove after me,
No way.
jumped out with knives to basically harm me. But there was one thing about me back then. I was diesel as hell, and I'm still very strong.
Mm-hmm.
I was prepared. I was going to whoop. Listen, I was going to take that knife, and it was going to regret ever bringing it to the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they, because he looked in my face, the one guy that jumped out the car, and he was like, "No, no, we ain't gonna, no." And the others was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" But he looked in my face because that's another thing. Like, I don't fight, so if I have to, it won't be a fight.
I have that feeling. I have that feeling, and
Okay,
I play way too many video games and Grand Theft
yeah,
Auto.
like it won't be a fight. It will be a beautiful.
It's not. It's gonna end at some
Yeah,
point.
but see, it's going. You said it. It's going to end. So yeah, but that's the thing. But now, I'm starting to venture out and do more. But so many people are trying to get their hands on me, Hollywood, and like so many people. And I don't. And that's the thing. I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
I was there. I was in the rat race, and they was treating me like shit. Now I done went and formed my whole formula and built the prototype. I don't know what y'all got. I'm cool with what I got. Now they trying to buy what I got from me, and I'm like, no, I don't want that. So it's so funny because my grandmother used to say this to me all the time. She says, "You literally are trying to wrap up everything and run out of here to Europe in one piece," and that's really what I'm doing. I'm trying to. I'm like, no, I'm not.
You know how to do it now. You know how to do it.
Keyword: I don't have to do that anymore.
Yes.
Oh, so tell us. This has been amazing. So tell us, what do you do? Because you work a lot now. So what do you do to kind of clear your mind? And the reason why I'm asking this, and to veg out and to relax, is because you're an Aquarius, and Aquarius are very talented, but they're always in their heads, always in their heads, because there's always something to do. There's always something to fine tune. There's always something to make it more.
Always.
So what do you do to kind of step out of your head and just kind of relax?
Well, we're gonna figure that out even more as I'm here.
He like, bitch, I don't know.
But I love video games.
Okay.
I don't have my PlayStation here, nor do I have my virtual reality toggle things.
Yeah.
So those are my key takeaways. I love playing games on my phone.
Yeah.
I love a good drink.
Yeah.
I'm not a smoker.
Yeah. Oh no, you can't be. Now you need those lung.
I love doing nothing. Like I'm gonna probably close this.
Yeah.
Lay back and be on my phone for the rest of the day. But you know what? If I do have the time and you know what I really would love to do?
What?
I used to grow up in my family. We were bowlers every Saturday. Bless you.
Thank you.
We would be bowling every Saturday. And I really want to rejoin that like weekly thing of like joining the tournament and like doing that. But the thing is, we're never out of our head.
Yeah.
Unless we have a checklist.
Yeah.
Of things that we need to at least touch.
Yeah.
We do not need to finish it. We just need to touch it. Even if I need to look up like auto insurance, at least I have the tab open on the browser so I can get back to it. So it's always going, but literally just games are my main outlet to just have fun.
The reason I asked you is because people like you and I, we've given so much time to perfecting our craft. There really is no downtime. There really is no downtime.
We have to make it.
Yep.
I had to completely tell myself.
Yeah.
Stop.
Me too. Me too. Like literally, I have to do that. But you know what it is? It's not just the enjoyment. It's the being able to do something really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that there are others out there that do the same thing that you do, but they don't do it like you. That when the spotlight is on you, it's on you for what you are, who you are, and the diligence and discipline that you put into it. Yeah. That's why when they shine spotlights on me, I know it is because of my work ethic and what I've built. And I tell people, you can do what I do all the time. You're not going to be me, but you can do what I do. You can commentate, you can sing, you can do all of these things, but you're not going to be me.
That's the hard part. It's that And I don't like to have to verbalize that. I
Right.
like it to just happen.
Right.
And when it gets to a point where maybe someone is not jealous or they're just trying to understand, and it's just like, I don't want to say this, and there's no easier way to say this, but I'm doing it. I did it.
Yeah.
I've done the work. This
Yep.
is me. Now here's when Lakes for Life is stepping in.
Yep.
It's like now I'm just needing. I don't want to pull out my resume.
You have to sometimes.
But it's only when you have to do it to people that maybe think that they're on your level.
Yeah. And you know what's so great? You just hit that, because that's the issue. You may do what I do, but you're not on my level.
And it's like, and you don't want to make it seem like it's I'm not talking down to you. It's just, I need you to understand that I love you. I'm an Aquarius, so you may not understand me, or you think you know who I am, but you don't know who I am. But I want you to understand that hey, come on, did you go to Europe?
Yeah.
Did you dance abroad?
Right.
And the thing is, if you're trying to also make yourself equal or compare yourself to that person, if you're gonna do it down to an exact science and T.
You gotta get little nuances.
Little nuances. Pull your resume, pull their resume, and go line by line.
Line by line.
Print, television, like
right.
If you want to think of that, if you want to think that way, but I never compare. Everyone's their own unique individual.
Exactly.
I would never.
You know what? I hate being compared. I don't say it much, but I take it. I take it because I realize that that's their brain trying to find something to liken me to understand me. I do understand they're trying to understand, because when they see me, it's like, okay, well, you do this, you do this, you do this, and you do them all well. They don't see the 20 years of perfecting. They don't see the 20 years of work and diligence, but it's kind of funny because our Queen Bee said, stop the track. Let me state facts. I told you, give me a minute and I'll be right back.
Yes.
Listen, it goes on to say, I've been in this. I'm not. Now she done put out a new one, honey. She said, I'm the bar.
She said, I'm the bar.
Alien.
I'm that girl.
Right? Like, but get it. She said, I'm not even a woman. I'm an alien superstar. Okay, this is galactic.
No, that album is fire.
Oh my God, is it ever?
I made a joke because I was like, but I know she's talking about herself, but she is giving certain people the unwanted ego boost that is not gonna. They're gonna be talking, I'm that girl, to the wrong person,
right? And they're gonna find out that they're not. Yeah, they're gonna find out that they're not. But listen, that's up to them. Because honey, I can say, like she said, I'm one of one.
I'm one of one.
Yup, I'm one of one. Listen, I have truly enjoyed this. This was absolutely. I couldn't wait to do this because I followed you for so long, and I just
thank you for that. I've seen your support, and it's been going on, and I'm
years.
Yes, I've seen. I'm like so thankful. I never thought this opportunity would come. And I'm like, and that's the part these are the opportunities that I'm talking about, that they appear in their own time.
I never thought I'd be doing this because I had this thing, when I'd be trying to tell folk that was trying to come for me. I said, listen here, I am the star. You are the reporter. Okay. I'm the story. You are the reporter, but come to find out, I'm the star, the story, and the reporter. Okay, I'm in all of it, baby. I'm in all of it. I know. I made so many people upset. They said this bitch won't sit down. She just doing all our jobs. She just doing all our jobs.
Someone has to do it.
You know what's so funny? I think that's what I want people to take away from my entire endeavor, is that you can do anything and everything that you want to do. Try it. Try it.
You won't know until you try it.
Yeah, I didn't go to school for this. Try it. People, I've interviewed Hollywood, people, insiders, actors, everything, fashion icons. It's like, try it. If you're good at it, you're good at it. It comes naturally to me.
Yes.
To me. And I'm very thankful for that, because it's like everything else in my life. It doesn't take me more than 15 minutes to write a full song. And that's a gift because I hear them.
Yeah.
I hear them. Mm-hmm. So it's just me doing me. I will not diminish myself to make them feel better about themselves. But I tell you what I don't do. I don't go around them. I don't go around them because bitch, you can't be trusted.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to wig your wand.
And then I don't need to also continue spreading whatever needs other people.
Exactly.
Like just let's let it be like
Yeah.
whatever you feel, leave it at that. Keep pushing because I'm not stressed.
Nope.
I'm not.
Nope. I remember I had somebody ask me, they said, you need to go to Hollywood like the rest of us. I said, no, that's not my path. I said, I have a plan. And he said, what's your plan? If you got this plan, what's your plan? That's them probing you, trying to figure out what you're going to do. I said, you'll see it when I unveil it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I continued to do.
Yeah. And that's all you need to say.
Yeah. I don't listen. I don't need to speak. You can hit play.
You can go talk to your little friends.
Right.
Little friends over there, guys.
You can all pile around the boombox, baby. Bluetooth it, play. The album has 50 songs on it. Play.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Give me 3 words that inspire and empower you. I stump everyone with this.
Inspire
and empower you.
Dedication.
Uh-huh.
Um, what else? Oh my gosh. Support.
Uh-huh.
And self-love.
Yes. You know, you just hit that on the head. I don't think you and I would be who we are if in a world of extreme homophobia and, racism and all of these things, I don't think we would be who we are if we didn't learn to love ourselves in spite of. Like literally, I think we're both sitting here because it wasn't the done thing to do, but we learned that we deserve to live and breathe and be here just like anybody else, no matter what we did. You know, I thank you for today. I thank you because it was you that I first saw go on point, and I flipped because I've watched ballet for years, and my favorite thing to see is the women go on point. That's the showstopper.
Yeah.
And to watch them do. And then when I saw you do it and you did it like you've been doing it, but you said you practiced, you've been doing like you did it like, honey, I'm supposed to be up here. I'm supposed to be up here. And it was so beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you so much for taking this time with me. And this won't be the last time because now I got to check in with you. It'll probably be like a year. I got to give you a good year.
Yes.
Yeah, because you gotta.
I'll keep you updated. I'll let you know what's going on when the next thing happens, or I make a choice to. All right, LA didn't last long. I'm moving.
Right.
Because anything can happen. I could easily dip out.
Yeah, but you know what? That's a great thing to be able to do.
Yeah,
a great thing to be able to do. Tell everyone right now, because you're a social media guru. So tell everyone right now where they can find you on social media. And I'm going to put it all under the video to you. Linktree.
So you have my website, www.legs4life. Number 4 and life with the Y.com. That's my website. It has my bio. It has all the information. It's like an artist bio. Instagram, legs_number 4_ life with the Y. TikTok, without the underscores, legs for life. What else? That's about it for social media.
That's okay.
And that's all I need. I really focused in on those 3: a website, an Instagram, and a TikTok.
I mean, you set the bar when you said website. That was the first thing I got too.
Website. And I need to update it because I also have merchandise. I'm in the process, which I was learning from you also with like trademarking and things like that. Like I want to get in that process of like making my logo.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll talk to you after this. I got to end this. I can give you some private information because
Please, I would
gotta
really
pay for that.
appreciate it.
They got to pay for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the vocal stylings of Mr. Addison Ector, aka Legs for Life. Say goodbye to the people, but don't hang up.
Okay, bye.
So, did you enjoy? I hope you did. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and don't forget to cash at me at the Queen of Shade. I am your favorite content creator, right? Right. You want to see more of this content, right? Right. Cash at me. I love you. Mwah. I've got my black stilettos on. Don't you make me take them off. I'm assuming first position. Gonna show you.